Thermite out! Enemy movement! I'm taking fire!
We have our first target. Move out.
We go together. Changing mag.
Right behind you.
Grenade out!
Enemy in the junkyard. Hardpoint lost. Hardpoint contested.
I'm taking fire!
Enemy near me.
Reloading.
Oh, I got kicked out. I got kicked out.
Is transmitted human to human. How are people infectious when they're asymptomatic? Are people infectious when they don't exhibit symptoms, or is it only when they're symptomatic? We've had conflicting reports of what the incubation period is. Times we're told it's up to 14 days, then we were told it was 5 to 7 days, then we're told it's 3 to 5 days. All of these are incredibly important questions for us to ask, so we can not just help the Chinese as well as the rest of the world internationally, but we can also plan our response here. A second important point that we learned post-Ebola and post-other pandemics is the importance of having do logistics, and they've got a specific role. Homeland Security, has a specific role. One of the recommendations was at the national security level, we really do need to have a single individual who can coordinate the whole interagency process. And Mr. Klain, I know you were instrumental in that role, and certainly look forward to hearing your thoughts about why that is such an important role. Number three, in the era that we live in, information but misinformation that's out there is going to be really important. As the public, should this spread in the United States, what is the right information that should get out to the public, and how do we combat disinformation? And again, that's a very difficult scenario, but it is incredibly important, not just here but also internationally. So again, I look forward to hearing from the witnesses on some thoughts and ideas, and then out of an abundance of caution, we did see the administration institute a travel ban and increased screening of folks that are returning from China and the region. There are discussions taking place backwards and forwards as to whether that actually will help us get a handle on this, or if the travel ban will actually potentially make things worse. And again, I'd be curious for the perspective of some of the witnesses on how that's being implemented and the impact of that. And then lastly, part of the reason why I really did want the administration here is we don't see this as an adversarial role. A lot of things in Washington, D.C. are partisan. This is not partisan. We as Congress understand how rapidly this is moving. We also understand that we want to make sure the administration has all the tools and resources that they need. Right now, we're guessing at what they might need in the emergency supplemental. I would invite the administration to work with us. Tell us what you need, and then we'll work to try to get that available to you as quickly as possible. We're on the same team here. This, novel coronavirus doesn't see Republicans or Democrats. It sees human beings, and let's get ahead of this. Let's learn from this. And then let's also plan so we're not constantly responding to the latest outbreak, but we're actually thinking about how to prevent the next pandemic, et cetera. So those are a few things that I have on my mind. And again, I want to thank the witnesses for being here. And we really do have great personnel at CDC, HHS, State Department, and they're working overtime. And again, I commend those men and women that are spending quite a bit of time working on this to keep us safe. And we look forward to working with them. And again, this is an open door if they ever want to come to this subcommittee. And I think any of the members here, we're here to help support the administration. And with that, let me turn it over to the ranking member for his opening statement.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning. I'd like to thank Chairman Bear for holding this hearing on global spread of novel coronavirus from China. And I want to comment on what you said, the hysteria and misinformation. We saw that when Zika happened. And it turned into a political fight. It was politicized, and we don't want to do this. And I commend everybody that's working on this to this point. It hasn't happened, and I hope we can go forward. And then you have an MD and a veterinarian, and so we're both used to having quarantines and dealing with outbreaks. I'd like to welcome Dr. Jennifer Nuzzo from Johns Hopkins University, Dr. Jennifer Bowie from RAND, and Mr. Ron Klain. I look forward to hearing from each of you about recent developments and paths forward to coronavirus and related global diseases. As of today, 20,630 people in 24 countries around the world have been infected with coronavirus that we know of. The virus has killed 425 people so far, as we know, or that's all we know of. The vast majority of which have occurred within China. I extend my sympathies to the people in China who have lost family members and remained quarantined by the Chinese authorities in an unprecedented lockdown of millions of people. I don't think we've ever seen this before. However, despite the severity and infectiousness of this virus, the Chinese government has so far refused to fully cooperate with the global community. And again, this is something we hope does not become politicized. Viruses know no borders, and they don't really care what your politics are. Although Chinese scientists were able to share the sequence of the strain with international partners, they were only able to do so after bypassing government censors. So far, China has spurned the help of CDC and refused to provide biological samples to the United States. And to date, if we look back, whether it was the MERS or SARS epidemic, that was a worldwide collaboration. And other countries, even Taiwan, needs to be involved in this because they were the ones that helped solve the SARS epidemic. The slow walking of information and assessments not only hurts the credibility of China, but also hinders our ability as an international community to prevent the further loss of life and spread of the disease. Further, in the middle of the unprecedented crisis, the CCP continues to endanger people throughout Asia by using the World Health Organization to advance its political agenda through the exclusion of Taiwan. Taiwan has also forbidden the evacuation of Taiwanese citizens from the mainland, directly threatening the safety and sovereign of their citizens. This can't stand. And again, viruses really don't care what your politics are. The United States should be better prepared to face future threats as well, which is why I supported multiple efforts in Congress to promote the One Health framework, which we're going to talk a little bit about because this coordinates departments, activities, and programs that will prepare to protect the U.S. food and feed supplies in the event of a zoonotic disease outbreak. So this is a cooperation between USDA and HHS. As we know, 6 to 7 out of 10 diseases that we get originate in the animal world, and the coronavirus is a perfect example. The recent outbreak of coronavirus stemming from Wuhan, China, is a perfect example why managing the spread of the animal-to-person spread to prevent person-to-person spread is so important. Thankfully, the CDC has repeatedly assured the American people that the risk to our residents remains low. This thanks in large part to the actions taken by the administration in organizing targeted quarantines, travel advisories, research into treatments, and vaccines, in addition to the daily calls members of Congress make on this issue.
We're halfway there. Keep going.
Reloading.
What can we do in the future to prevent not just China, but China from
Team deathmatch. Enemy incoming. Weapons ready.
how can we balance
Enemies here.
long-term pandemic
Allied UAV overhead.
With you!
enable our agents to infectious diseases.
Enemy at the forklift. Allied cruise missile launched. Friendly Wilson station beginning sweep.
Future pandemics from foreign countries. Thank you.
Friendly sentry gun online. Enemy near me.
We did get a private to say that I was impressed by the team that made that.
Enemy at the shanty town.
That is, I think,
Allied UAV overhead. This is our fight. Stay focused.
complimenting the team. Also no leader.
Allied cluster strike incoming.
Impressed when they
Enemy at second.
and of course
You will not forget this day. We will be waiting.
family. What we do to protect our own citizens should not be Chinese cooperation to start clinical trials. There are a variety of possible medicines that might be helpful, but we won't know.